Day 9 of the road trip in Louisville. I'm so tired at this point in the trip. I'm sitting on the bed to do this video. So we're going to discuss what we're going to do tomorrow in Louisville before we leave to Indianapolis, which will be our final stop on the trip, and also what we did today in Louisville. And, also, let's start with the hotel. It's almost, I guess you could call it a motel. Um, a little hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. I guess it's different. At first, I was like, oh man, like anyone, could just walk up to my door. It's like, ooh. But then I'm like, nah, it's fine. Like, it's actually not a bad location. And downtown Louisville is really good, actually, especially for the size of the city. And going in, my expectations were that Louisville is the smallest city. That means it's probably going to have less things to do or be less, I guess, immaculate. But I haven't really explored much of downtown because that's not what I was doing today. But we'll see tomorrow. If it fulfills that. I was just looking at some of the things that I could be doing tomorrow, or at least seeing. I don't think I'm going to go like in anywhere or anything like that, but it does look pretty cool. And like I said, especially for the size, being literally like half the size population wise of every other city on this road trip, at sitting at around just over like 1 million people in the metro population. The city itself actually has most of that. So like by population wise, the city looks like, oh wow, yeah, it has a lot of people, but the metro is very small. And I guess I'm here a week before the Kentucky Derby, so that there's some stuff going on with that. There's also a funny thing called the Festival. Get it? Because Louisville Festival. Yeah, it's a festival. Okay, I don't really know what it's about. Kroger got their name all over that one, so I guess they're sponsored it. I guess that's one of the first things I saw when I was downtown. I was like, oh wow, there's this thing, because I went to the waterfront, and there's this big festival, and I don't know how you get in because it was like gated around the whole thing. But anyways, we arrived here at the Greyhound station, which is apparently a different station than we were supposed to arrive at, or at least they changed it recently. So I had to mark that on my map so I know where to go when I leave to go to Indianapolis. I hope it's the same place because it's literally just not noted. I guess I did look it up, so I think it is just a new spot, but when I booked the ticket, it wasn't that one, so I don't know if this is like in the past week or something. Whatever the case may be, we got the Greyhound. We have the MyTark card, which is the Transit Authority of River City, a nickname for Louisville. Um, the card costs $5, unfortunately, and I believe I'm going to have a balance left over of $1.50. I think. I hope, because I hope I didn't use all $3 that I put on there to today, because that wouldn't make sense, but I don't really know how it works. Anyways, we do have that card if we ever come back. So we have a Pittsburgh card, the Connect card, and we have the MyTark card from Louisville. So those two, if we ever come back, which I think we will, but I don't know when. Like, this could be 5-10 years, and lots of things can change by then. So we'll have to see about that. But after I got the card, I walked over to Old Louisville, and there's some pretty cool houses and a nice street with a water fountain in the middle of it. Interestingly enough, it reminded me of other neighborhoods I visited with the grandiose houses, the huge mansions and all that sort of thing. Not all of them were like mansions per se, but they were Victorian homes, and they look pretty neat. And it was next to the park, a Central Park. It's not the one in New York City. This is not New York City. This is Louisville. Okay, they're doing some construction, so I'm not sure they're building like a playground little area at the park. I don't know if the playground was there before and they're renovating it, or if this is just a whole new area. So Louisville residents can let me know about that. And then also after that, I took the bus from the old Louisville neighborhood to go to the American Printing House for the Blind. So this is a place, actually, the number one manufacturer of these trinkets, not really trinkets, but like texts, like Braille, and I guess maybe other things that people who are blind use to learn in school. And so there's a museum, a free museum. There's also a free factory tour, which I didn't get to do, but that's at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. I believe at least every weekday, but maybe the weekends as well. Those are free too. So if I ever went back to Louisville, I would probably try and get to the factory tour to see how they're actually made and some more information on that. But seeing some, like, for example, one thing is just like a globe or a map that has the terrain on it. So obviously, like a map of the United States, you're gonna have like Denver, you're gonna have Utah, where with the high elevations, you can feel that with your hands. And then through the Great Plains, it's very flat, and so on and so forth. But just like different tools and things like that, other people involved, like Helen Keller, the goat, you could say. She was both deaf and blind, and she was able to just like be a baller, essentially. You've got Detroit's own Stevie Wonder, who shares my birthday. So Stevie Wonder, produced many great hits over the years and whatnot. Just other people, the factory, things about schools that started helping the blind. And a lot of the initial stuff was started in the late 1700s in France, and a lot of that was taken over. And the thing about Louisville is Louis is named after King Louis. There's also someone named Louis Braille. Well, that guy created Braille, so ironically that he has the same name as King Louis. And well, I guess that's not ironic, but also that Louisville is called that. So all that is to say, some good information there, and I think there would be more, especially on the factory tour. And I guess the funny thing about it is that I try to do some of the exhibit things, with my eyes closed, like trying to feel around and do different things, and I'm horrible. Like if I went blind, I would be horrible for at least like a year. Like I don't know. I literally just kept opening my eyes because I'm like, well, I need to see this. How am I supposed to do these things? But it's like, no, you don't get that opportunity, okay? But I digress. And I go to a walk about 30 minutes to the waterfront. So there is multiple playgrounds, actually. Some trails that lead up to the Ohio River. We're at the Ohio River again, and for the last time on this trip, at least. We saw it in Pittsburgh, we saw it in Cincinnati, and now we've seen it in Louisville. And right across the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky is going to be Indiana. So some more state involvement where the river just separates the state. That's literally what the border of Ohio is for a lot of it. So that is the case there. And then also the Big Four Bridge. So this is a bridge that used to be a rail road. Like the bridge, literally, it was used for a train to transport because, Louisville was a big hub for rail. And, how do you get across the river for rail? You build a bridge. And so you've got this that used to be used for rail. You could see the tracks, the outlines of the tracks on the Big Four Bridge, and you can literally just walk across the river into Indiana. I didn't go all the way. I just walked. I don't think I even made it halfway, but I was just like, I don't think I need to do this. Like I could, be all cool and just smug and walk into Indiana like, hey guys, welcome to Indiana. But I'm gonna be there tomorrow, so might as well just be patient and go, get some rest and see a little bit of I don't know, the rest of downtown before you head out. I would say like the bridges aren't as cool as like Cincinnati bridges or Pittsburgh, but you know, there's at least one that was cool, at least one. And then you've got some things in downtown Louisville that you could just walk to from there. I was kind of chilling on one of the swings there. They had these in Cincinnati as well. I think they have them elsewhere as well. But just some swings, to chill in front of the winter. Wiver. It's pronounced river, actually. And then you could see the KFC Yum Center, Humana, which is like a healthcare provider or something like that, and like a Moxie Hotel, and what else? PNC. I know. I think I would have to check back in the footage, but I might guess that I've seen a PNC skyscraper in most, if not all, of the cities I've been to on this trip. I could be wrong on this, but I definitely remember. I mean, it's definitely in Pittsburgh. I believe I just saw it yesterday in Cincinnati and now today in Louisville. So I might have seen it in Cleveland now that I'm thinking about it. And even back in Detroit at home. Do they have one there as well? I don't know if they might. But they're insane if they do that. They go crazy. They go hard with the skyscrapers. We got to have one skyscraper in every city. Like, what the heck? And Louisville's got some other cool things. Louisville Slugger Museum, the Fraser History Museum. That one's for Kentucky history. Muhammad Ali Center. A science center. I mean, like, science center's like a normal thing to have, I guess. And if you're into alcoholic beverages, I am not. But there is the Whiskey Trail and Bourbon Trail, I guess, in downtown. And there's some other things. So I think the total number of things, and you look at that and you say a lot of them are pretty close to each other downtown. And then there's Churchill Downs, which is the host of the Derby, Kentucky Derby, which is down the road past Old Louisville. You look at that and you say, wow, Louisville's hitting above their level in terms of their size compared to their number of things to do. So I respect that. I don't know where that ranks them on my list. I think it's I don't know. I'll have to figure that out because other than that, I was pleasantly surprised by the downtown. Other than that, some of the other areas, not too enthused. They didn't look as great as other neighborhoods or places I've seen. So I guess that brings it down a notch. But what do you expect? I come in with low expectations. You meet and exceed expectations. You have yourself a happy experience, I think, which is kind of the opposite of some other places I've seen. But we'll try to see a couple of things tomorrow, just around downtown, but mostly not trying to overdo it because we're gonna head to Indianapolis in the afternoon. So I do want to make sure that we're all set up for Indianapolis, and then after tomorrow, which would be 2 days from now, will be the final full day. And then after that, I'll be heading back to Detroit and basically just like on a 6-hour Greyhound bus ride back into the Motor City. So Louisville, the Ville, King Louis, oui, I don't speak French, croissant, the gateway to the South. This is still a Midwest road trip, even though Kentucky is like a southern state. Louisville is a Midwest city. You feel me? I think I wanted to do the nature preserve. Is that what it's called? Something to do with nature in like the southeast portion of the city. But the bus, I think when I checked, it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours to get there, and then to go all the way back into the core to get to the hotel was just not worth it. So I didn't do that. But Nonetheless, I think I am intrigued by the downtown because I've only seen a little bit of it, and so I'll see more of it tomorrow, and I'll say my final decision. The rest of the city, I can't say it's overly positive or overly negative. It's pretty neutral overall in comparison. Maybe not as great to some of these other cities, but getting to learn again with the museums. As long as you have a good museum, a free museum, I think I'll be happy with a park, with a river. I mean, maybe I'm overdoing it with the rivers. I've seen 1,000 rivers at this point, but well, some of them are the same river, but I've seen 1,000 different implementations of a riverfront, and so I'll do like rankings. I think of my favorite riverfront on the trip, and I think I can include Detroit because these are recent that I've seen, and then Detroit I just know, so I can include Detroit on that. I can do other things like best best view, other things, best park that's not the riverfront, best museum or other attractions, those sort of things. I think we can get into that. And so overall, I mean, nothing too crazy happened today. I don't think any crazy experience happened. Not that I can recall at the moment, but kind of just in the routine. We're up to day 9. The feet are hurting, specifically like the heels. So trying to get in that rest when we can, just trying to get a systematic flow, get that hotel breakfast in the morning, get to where you need to go, plan it out, pack up your stuff before you go, all these sort of things. It's just in rhythm. We've just got it. We've got the stroke like Kevin Durant in the NBA. So at this point, we're closing in on the end. We've got Louisville, and then we've got Indianapolis, and that will do it for the trip. I guess we'll have our final thoughts when we get there. But other than that, keep on continuing on with the videos. If you enjoy this trip, future trips, coming, not soon, I would say, but sometime. And thumbs up, and let me know what your thoughts are of Louisville, and anything I didn't touch on that has to do with Louisville. Let me know in the comments as well, and subscribe while you're at it if you enjoyed. So peace out. I gotta get to sleep. Gotta head to see the rest of downtown around here, and go to Indianapolis. Peace out, folks.